What up, everybody? Before I even get started, let me start off by saying that I don't want Tasha to die. She's one of my favorite power characters in OG and all. But at the same time, I still gotta look at things objectively and acknowledge that it's a possibility, especially with Book 2 coming to an end. I think we can definitely expect to see something big to happen in episodes 9 and 10. Enough to make up for a mid-season finale that left a lot of fans disappointed and saying that wasn't enough to warrant a 2-month break. So personally, I hope Tasha makes it to the next spin-off, but in a bigger role, similar to Power. But at the same time, looking at it from this angle as well, what would make for the better story? For Tasha to survive to the next spin-off, or for her to get killed and cause Tariq to evolve to the next level of being a straight savage? Tasha played the role of mother and ghost wife in Power. If she would return full-time, what would her role be at this point? Tariq's already grown, so would it be raising Yaz? Because of those questions, I do think there's a chance that Book 2 will end with the death of Tasha. When it was announced that Season 4 would be the final season of Book 2, Naturi Nada made a post on Instagram that said, "The end of who?" It might just be the end of Tasha, with Power ending with the end of Ghost. Either, though, a lot of us still hope he returns. In the same way, Book 2 might end with the death of Tasha. But the question is, how would this happen? I have 3 potential characters that could be the one who takes Tasha out. 2-Bit, Noma, possibly Kane after being sent by Noma, and the third is Detective Don Carter. Starting off with 2-Bit, as both him and Tasha each have only had a brief appearance in this season. But the connection's already been made, being that they both made a cameo in the same episode. Tariq went to check on Tasha after he had a face-to-face with Don Carter, questioning him about Agent Young that concluded with Carter telling Tariq that Tasha was about to get kicked out of Witsec. But because Tariq was driving the hoopty he got from 2-Bit out of state, it broke down as Tariq was leaving Shop Depot where Tasha works. Tariq just left the car in that town on the side of the road as he called Braden to pick him up. Then because Tariq and Braden needed to make a move to get some money to get back in the game, Tariq got his spare key for his Porsche that 2-Bit took from him and found the car, and when 2-Bit went into the restaurant, Tariq drove off with the Porsche. At this point, 2-Bit might have suspected that it was Tariq who took the car back. But if he was watching Tariq at all or looking around campus, he would have noticed that Tariq wasn't driving the car either. So because of that, he probably thinks that a car thief stole the car. But because the fact that Tariq just left 2-Bit's car stranded on the side of the road, it will eventually get towed away and put into some kind of storage. Because of that, if Tariq never switched the car out of 2-Bit's name when they swapped cars, there's a chance that 2-Bit could get a notice about his car being abandoned in that town where Tasha works. Then at this point, being that his car was stranded the same day that the Porsche came up missing, he would then know definitely what's up. But more importantly, he would then ask himself what Tariq was driving through that little town. And knowing that Tasha's in Witsec, he would go and check things out for himself. And keep in mind that Tasha told Tariq that Shop Depot was the only job in the whole city. So this is the only store there, and 2-Bit might just show up at Shop Depot while he's at that town and just happen to bump into Tasha like Tariq bumped into Anya. The difference, of course, Tasha knows who 2-Bit is. Then 2-Bit would take advantage of this opportunity and make a move on Tasha for Tariq getting a lick back on him. But the thing about 2-Bit is he's calculated and about business, and would rather use this as a way to extort Tariq out of more money. And because the fact that Tasha could easily change her address again, 2-Bit's not going to let it come to that. And he'll take Tasha for ransom and demand that Tariq pay him somewhere around $2 million, or else his mother gets a bullet. But like we've seen so many times in Power, when taking someone ransom, the end goal is always to put a bullet in the person taking ransom, as well as the person they get the money from. With 2-Bit, it'll be no different. But either though 2-Bit is calculated at times, he can also be reckless. When Dre and Cristobal had the plan to take out the guy from the Toros Locos, 2-Bit took matters into his own hands and filled the guy up with bullets, saying he was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I can see it to where after taking Tasha for ransom that something goes wrong and 2-Bit would end up killing Tasha one way or another. before getting killed himself by Tariq, killing off two OG characters in one scene, who both only made small cameos on book 2 except for Tasha in season 1. The next possibility in taking out Tasha would be Noma, or possibly Kane via Noma. In episode 1, Noma told Obi that she wants Tariq and everything he loves dead. And now that Tariq is messing with Anya, he could actually be playing with fire when it comes to Noma. Tariq said it best last season at one point when it comes to Noma that the is a savage. She didn't even mind killing her own baby daddy. So we could possibly see Noma counter by targeting Tasha instead of Tariq as a result of Tariq using Anya as leverage. And Noma might send Kane to do the job, but at the same time, Noma doesn't really have a problem getting her hands dirty either, especially if it's personal. The Blue Diamond Ring, Francesco Lombardi, and taking out Obi is all examples of that. The problem with Noma or Kane being involved in taking out Tasha is the fact that Tasha is in WITSEC. And either though season 3 showed Noma as someone who could possibly have the means to obtain that, season 4 has shown otherwise. But a character who definitely has enough resources to target Tasha would be Detective Don Carter. In episode 2, he told Davis that he has connections that could get Davis his law license back. And in episode 5, we saw how Carter is able to make all his connections happy by fattening their pockets from the money he extorts out of criminals and drug dealers. So because of that, Carter could potentially get Tasha's exact address, and Carter might be Tasha's biggest threat. Carter already mentioned Tasha also, like I said at the beginning of this video, telling Tariq that Tasha will be back on the streets where everyone is gunning for her. Is this a clue that because of Tariq's rise to the top by season 4, his enemies could turn to his biggest attachment and turn to targeting his family, specifically his mother Tasha? But if either 2-Bit, Noma, or Carter end up taking Tasha out, this would cause Tariq to become more of a savage with less attachments. And I can also see a situation play out similar to the end of season 3, almost like history repeating itself, but with a twist. At the end of season 3, Tariq got to Tasha just in the nick of time as Tommy was about to cancel her Christmas. What if at the end of season 4, Tariq gets there a second too late this time and doesn't save his mother, but then he kills whoever takes out Tasha? And this could possibly be the cliffhanger that was mentioned to end Power Book 2. And looking at the bigger picture, if Tasha does die, what would happen with Yaz? Tariq already tried to get custody of her once because he didn't want her staying with Big Mama. But at the same time, this would cause problems between Tariq and Estelle because Estelle already told Tariq that everything bad that happened to their family was because of him. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.